recording start? Okay, thank
Yeah, go ahead, Ramesh ji.
Is Krishna is telling that is Udasena the Bhava, that's not taking any interest or anything, let it happen, whatever it happens. Srishtikarta, Brahma, let him create, let him maintain, let him destroy. I don't have nothing to do with the attitude. Is that the attitude he's telling?
So that I is not referring to Krishna, Avatara Krishna, right? It is referring to Brahma, Atma, consciousness. That is I, that mom, that mom. Now, you can also ask the other question. What about Krishna then?
Yeah. Mhm.
What kind of attitude Krishna has? Okay. I think Krishna had a great attitude. People love Krishna based on our study of Mahabharata. I think he was a great person to be with. And but Krishna is Bhagavan, therefore Krishna Jnani. Okay. And he is just watching the fun. Look at this. The war is about to happen. Major destruction is about to happen. He's constantly smiling.
But that is a major criticism for India, not supporting Ukraine or Russia. And then that is the one of the thing they're telling you are in the on the fence. This war order, I'm telling.
Yeah, okay. So Ukraine, Russia, you keep it aside for a second, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that later. But let's first make sure you understand this Krishna situation in Mahabharata. So there Krishna is presented as Avatara Purusha. Unlike in Ramayana Rama is a dharmika, and then leading a dharmic life and then undergoing difficulties like any other human being. But Krishna is not like that here in Mahabharata. And so there, his role is like Jnani, but then he's the only role where is in full bloom. He is playing music and this and that, and given a guitar, he will play guitar also. That kind of avatara is there. So there also his expression, the way if you look at his life, he is on top of everything. He can do whatever he has to do, but whatever he should not do, he won't do. He won't say, I will fight the war for you, Arjuna. So all that he does exactly what should be done. And then, but he's just watching the fun. Just watching the fun. That's all. That Udasinatvam is there in Krishna also. I feel like that. Okay? But yeah, here he is not referring to that Krishna, okay? Because Krishna also is an avatara. Krishna has a form. And form is born. And form is born means form will go, die also, which is the nature of Krishna. Okay. And so now Krishna is not there here. In that avatara, in that form, not there. You can only say, hey, God is everywhere, so Krishna is everywhere. We can say that statement. But not in the form that we have seen Krishna in Mahabharata 5,000, 8,000 years ago. Correct? Okay, that is one side. Now we are talking about how India is behaving and all that. India is responding to situations. Okay, so it's complicated.
Yeah. I'm sorry to bring that one. I know perfectly position of India. Jaishankar, our foreign minister, extremely nicely explained. And then very intelligent. I'm very happy that and fortunate that we have Jaishankar as our foreign minister.
Amazing. He asked, this lady is asking, Europe, how come you're all buying oil from Russia and all?
Yes, I saw that one. Yeah.
He said, you know what? Somewhere, Europe's problems are the world's problems. But world's problems are not Europe's problems. Somewhere we have to change this attitude, he said.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Europe thinks that Europe's problem, everybody should worry about that one. But China and India problem comes, Europe thinks it's your problem, not our problem.
Yeah.
That is
And they'll put fuel into the fire also sometimes. So
yeah. Then also he said, you are telling that India importing gas, this one oil. What about the gas? 90% of Europe from Russia. Is the gas money is not funding Russia? You are accusing us. And what a brilliant answer.
yeah.
But,
Vaidya, go ahead. Yeah. Thank you,
sir,
Ramesh.
thank you. Thank you.
So Jaykumarji, the question I have is similar to what Rameshji just asked, but my question is a little nuanced. Why doesn't it say verse 9 of 9th chapter? Why doesn't it say Bhagavan is Udasinaha instead of Udasinavate?
See, Udasinaha means what will happen is literally uninvolved. Totally, I mean, in the sense, it need not be present also.
Oh.
Need not be present also. Indifferent. I am indifferent to what's happening everywhere. In this house, I am indifferent. Means what? Whether I am there in the house or not, things happen.
Yeah, correct.
And many parents feel like that. Some people feel like that. So that becomes Udasina. So, but here, I think Udasina, what is a very interesting word. Like an indifferent person. And here, यथा उदासीनः उपेक्षकः कश्चित् तद्वत् आसीनम् आत्मनः अविक्रियत्वात्. Okay, so he says just like an indifferent person, upekshakaha he calls. Shankarajarya will give a synonym. Very nice. Udasinaha upekshakaha. Just like that person is seated but not really responding to anything. So that is indifferent. Like that, Atmanaha avikriyatvat. Atma is avikriya. Avikriyaha Atma. Atma is akarta. Atma is akarma also. Neither it is the agent of action, nor it is the object of action. Hanyate hanyamane sharire. That he brings here. Avikriyatvat. Udasina. What he says. No, actions. Actions happen, but I am not directly involved in any of these things. I sustain everything, but I am not involved in anything. But I am indifferent, like indifferent.
You said Akriyatvat?
Yeah, he says Avikriyatvat, Shankaracharya says.
Avikriyat.
Avikriyatvat. Same thing. Avikriya, Visheshena Kriyate. So, Avikriyaha, unchanging. Unchanging and no action. Does not contain, does not, is not an actor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And then another comment I wanted to make about verse 9, 10, the 10th verse, the Sakshi Bhava, Anena, so that Sakshi Bhava, Diksha Bhava. I guess one way I understood it is for the world, the change in the world to be recognized, there has to be something unchanging. Just like in the movie theater, the screen has to be unchanging for the movie to be seen, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So in that same way. Is that a good way to understand?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Screen, they give the example of screen also.
Even the sun's light, which is unattached to anything which falls on it, but it gives light, but it doesn't attach to that.
Yeah, all those examples are given. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Jacob.
Bhagyaji, go ahead. Yeah.
It is very basic one I want to know. When he says that Prakriti here, is he implying it to self, or it is different here, self, Purusha, Prakriti, or Atma, Prakriti, Purusha here? I'm just a little confused here.
Yeah. So in the 7th chapter, we saw Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti, right? So Bhagavan there said, I am really a combination of two things, he said, right? One is Para Prakriti, that unchanging, that Adhishthanam, that Atma, that is which has no attributes. Okay, that is the Para Prakriti. But then I see attributes, everybody sees attributes, everybody is attribute. Krishna also has attributes. Krishna also has a form. Anything that has a form is attributes. So what about all those attributes then? Then he said, okay, that is Apara Prakriti. Attributes belong to Apara Prakriti, Maya. Trigunatmika Maya. Maya has 3 gunas, and those gunas manifest as the variety that we see in this world. Okay, so that Prakriti, Apara Prakriti, is referred to here. Prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Prakritihi suyate. So suyate means creates, right? So srijati, you can say. Srijati means creates. Who creates? He doesn't say I create. In this shloka, at least he doesn't say I create. He says Prakritihi suyate. Prakriti creates. Apara Prakriti creates. Maya creates. Maya creates. Means Kartrutvam can be given to Maya, but not to me, not to Atma, not to Brahma, not to Para Prakriti.
So here, then where does the Purusha comes here then?
Purusha, okay, here Purusha is Aham. So that Maya Adhyakshena, in my presence, that is Purusha. In the presence of Purusha, correct? Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is another name for Para Prakriti, or Para Prakriti is another name for Purusha, which will come in a chapter following, right? Purusha and Prakriti. Yeah.
So here, the Atma is you said he's not Karta here. So it just sits there and then watches, or is this that's the one? It gives vasanas and everything.
Yeah, so Prakriti will give vasanas. Vasanas and all belong to Prakriti. Apara Prakriti. Here Prakriti means Apara Prakriti. Okay. And Purusha cannot have vasana. Correct. Only that which is finite can have vasanas. Only that which is finite can do karma, can get results, can experience results. And so vasanas manifesting all that punyam, papam, etc. Everything belongs to Apara Prakriti, Maya.
So here the Maya is going to be a very big chapter. Jay Kumarji, is very hard to understand.
All change is Maya. Why Maya is hard to understand? Everything that I see is Maya, because Maya means that which is perceivable, okay, which is caused by Maya, okay, the entire world, okay, because the world is changing, and and Atma is unchanging, okay, and change cannot be attributed to Atma, and yet you have to explain the change. The entire world is changing, but then suddenly Krishna says Atma is unchanging. I am the unchangeless, Ajaha, unborn, okay, and Avinashi Atma, correct? But the whole world constantly dying, born, dying, born, dying, born, dying. And so, to explain that, Maya is brought in. And that Maya aspect is the material aspect of the creation. So if you look at creation, then the nimitta karanam and upadana karanam, correct? Any creation, if you look at it, there is the creator, one who makes, and then and then there is a material needed for the creation. Correct? So the way to appreciate Maya is upadana karanam. Nimitta karanam is Purushaha. Upadana karanam is Maya. So Maya is always there. The world is there. Without material, world can't be there. Without Maya, world can't be there. Yeah.
Dhanyawada. Sorry, I didn't mean to ask the basic question, but
Yeah, the problem in the Vedanta, basic questions become the most important questions. Did you realize that?
yeah. I mean,
Basic questions become the most important questions for us. Because those are the questions we've been ignoring all along. So therefore, don't think your questions are good. Please ask them.
Jai Kumarji, the another
Everybody has those
confusion,
basic questions. Yeah.
the confusion here about Maya in other different languages means different meaning. In Maya, Maya Avatara is magic. And then Sanskrit here in the Sanatana Dharma, what we're explaining is a totally different context. In Greek, Maya is a different. And then that's a big confusion. And then I was thinking.
And that confusion we carry, and when we name our daughters also Maya.
Maya.
So then we have to ask the parents, hey, what Maya? Is it magician Maya? Or is it Greek Maya? Or is it our Advaita Vedanta Maya? Which Maya is your daughter?
Yeah, that's the big confusion. But yeah, it is very fascinating, more than confusion. Maya's concept of Maya, when you take away the magic part of it, is Maya is a creation. Maya is a this one. Any somebody need to do that one, and then we are all living in the Maya loka. Maya.
Right. So the dream world. So dream world is there. And I thought the dream was a real world. Until I woke up. Then we ask all these questions. Who created the dream world? All these questions, if I ask, what do you do? How do you explain dream? Dream is not easy to explain. If you really analyze it, you simply say dream and we walk away. But I created the dream if I say, hey, I was sleeping. In sleeping, how do you say I created the dream? Yeah, dream happened. Dream happened, okay. From creation, you have to say happened, correct? You have to move to happened. You can't say create, because create means some kartrutvam was there, but no kartrutvam was there. Bhagavan also is saying the same thing. No kartrutvam is there for me. It's happening. It's happening. How did the dream happen then? Yeah, because vasanas, Bhagya said vasana, all that is there, just sitting, waiting for it to come out. And so that vasana creates that karma. Karma pravaha is there, just creates the dream world. Same way it creates this world also. All that is attributed to Maya. Attributed to Maya. Because creation happened, and I did not create the world, the dream world, but I also created the dream world. I created the dream world, because who else can create my dream world? You can't create my dream world. Okay. So it has to be me only. But then I did not do anything to create this dream world. I did not wake up and prepare this, that, and the masala and all, and then created the dream world. No. I have no control over this dream world. Udasina Bhati.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's that is the thing. That's why, because it is anirvachaniyam. You can't say I'm not the creator of my dream world, and you can't say I'm the creator of my dream world also. That is why. That is the anirvachaniyam we have to grasp.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Like pot. Okay, come out of dream. Let's come to the real world, No, Jaykumarji, you're talking about dream all the time. We are living in the real world. Gita class is happening in the real world. Let's talk about real world. Okay, let's talk about real world. Pot. pot exists or does not exist? Tell me that. This, if you think through, that is also anirvachaniyam. Mithya is anirvachaniyam. Why? Pot exists, if you say, pot's existence is iffy. It depends on clay for its existence. Wherever you say pot, look, there is pot. If you say the clay is going to raise its hand and say, wait a minute, that is clay. That is me, clay. I was there before, I am here now, you're looking at me, and I will be there even after you're gone, I will be there, okay? That is what clay will be saying. Then what about pot? You can't say pot does not exist, and you can't say pot exists also. Anirvachaniyam. This is not theory. This is Advaita Vedanta. Correct. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Prasad ji, go ahead.
Before asking my question, I wanted to say this. Brahman is easy, but the Maya is still difficult. That's, I mean, whatever confusion comes is through Maya. That's why I agree with Bhagyaji when she says Maya. So just my comment. My question is, actually, personally, I feel I have the first verse which I felt good, and it's really important was Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhava vidyate sataha. So that's the first one in my personal view, but it doesn't mean that all other verses are not. But the second verse which I got really into is the latest one, verse number 5 of chapter 9, where say nacha mastani bhutani. So here it says, so it is not connected to anything, right? So the three items has come out of it, as I understand. The beings do not exist in me. I do not reside in the beings. All that exists has its being in the Sat. So I took these 3 points out of this, the verse. Now, I was just trying to understand this more thoroughly. In fact, it has given more different perspective to me, and it's more understandable. So I just wanted to say what I understood and confirm. So based on these 3 statements, I would say the awareness is the Atma, the existence is the Atma, all that experiences pervades in the same Sat, which is Atma. Now, so all the experience, whatever experiences we have are none other than the Atma, which is me. So, which means that I only experience myself. That's the underlying statement, which I understand. I only experience myself. Like the dream example, which I was thinking. So all the resources which are the product is in that dream is nothing but the mind itself. So it's nothing but the mind. So one thing, right? It is which is mithya, but it is the same mind. Similarly here, all the experiences which I get is nothing but the Atma. So what I experience is basically for all the objects. In other words, the object of the self is the self that is aware. The object of the self is the self that is aware. So in fact, I am experiencing myself. For everything, whatever experiences I have, it is nothing but I am experiencing myself. So that's the direction which I'm taking out of this understanding.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that. You can say, because everything is Atma, finally. Anatma is Atma, but Atma is not Anatma. Pot is clay, but clay is not pot. Okay. If you look at it like that, yeah. You can say you're experiencing yourself. You can say that. You can say that in that perspective. Your argument is okay. Because there is nothing other than you. Therefore, you can only experience yourself. But remember that experience, there is always a Triputi is there. So there is I, and then there is an object that I experience. There is experience, etc. So, having understood that, I experience myself is not the tattva. The tattva is that I am the whole. Otherwise, we should stop with experience. That's what I'm saying. As long as we understand that, that's fine. Prasad is where did he go? Okay. Okay, suddenly we lost you, Prasad. Okay.
Yeah, we lost actually when you started saying, so I think you have to repeat.
Yeah, I said what you said is correct from a perspective. Yeah. From one perspective, it is correct. And but to understand that statement, I experience myself, requires understanding of Satyam. Otherwise, you can't go that far. How can I experience myself? Whatever I experience is not me. That is another thing. Whatever I experience is not me. That is how we start our Vedanta class. Whatever I experience is Anatma. And then finally go all around and finally say everything is Atma and then come back. Whatever I experience is myself. We seem to contradict our own. Somebody who listens to this talk and then listens to the initial classes of Bhagavad Gita, oh, this man is contradicting himself. Yeah, so that is Maya. That's why Maya has to come in. Because Maya is needed. You know why? Because the two levels of reality, two orders of reality, not level ko chodo, orders of reality. That is it. Because two orders of reality are there, we are used to only one order of reality. Our entire life spent on just one order of reality. Correct? Dharma, artha, kama.
Actually, this sloka has given me that deeper understanding that the two orders of reality, one is the Atma, which is, he is saying that it does not exist in me and it doesn't reside in beings. But at the same time, if I take the dream as other order of reality, which is actually doesn't exist, which is Maya. So these two things putting together, I get the idea. For example, when I take the dream, all the material which is part of my dream is it's actually created within one thing, that is my mind. It is nothing but the mind. So once I take that concept into my mind, I understand now with one order of reality, which is Satya, which is Atma, then all that I experience is that Atma itself.
That Atma in the form of an Atma. In the form of an Atma. And that I experience, that I is not Atma that is experiencing. I in the form of my body and mind is experiencing another Anatma, which is Atma, of course. Only then you can talk about experience. Atma doesn't experience. Okay.
Correct.
So Atma experiences, Atma is Akarta. I mean, Atma is Karta.
But when you say not experience, in the deep sleep, it is that experience, right? Whatever we experience. I mean, the consciousness which experiences without the mind, that blankness is still an experience. We call it as experience, right? No?
Okay. Experience, let it be there. So mind is still there. There's still stuff that is activities are close to zero. Prana is working. Everything is there. So there is enough material in there to record what's happening. Just enough to record and say, okay, I infer that I slept well. But we don't, consciousness cannot experience. Consciousness is akarta. Consciousness sustains all experiences. Without consciousness, there no experience is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vidya.
Yeah. So just a small clarification. You said Purusha is the Nimitta Karana, right? And but then Maya is the Upadana Karana, correct?
Correct.
But then I think what we also say is Ishvara is Purusha plus Maya. Hence, Ishvara becomes Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana. Correct?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Thank you.
Abhinna nimitta upadana karana. Therefore, what is Brahma? What kind of karanam is Brahma? Finally,
Brahma is the Nimitta Karana.
so what we say is Brahma eventually will become akarana.
Uh-huh.
Akarana. Karana karya vilakshanam Brahma.
Oh,
Brahma is neither karanam, neither cause nor effect. If Brahman becomes cause, then Brahman is karta.
So, but Brahman is Purusha, right?
Yeah, Brahman is Purusha. Correct. Another word given is Purusha.
So that's why I'm a little confused here.
Yeah. So we'll continue the discussion. And
Okay.
at the door, somebody is knocking my door now.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Time is running out. But
Good,
yeah,
good one.
yeah. So keep thinking about that.
Just
Okay.
a quick sentence now. Just quick sentence on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one quick sentence. When you say that
Is it my video or
but-
Prasad?
We cannot hear
are
what
you
he's
hearing
telling.
me?
Yeah, Prasad, we cannot hear you.
Hello.
Vinaledu. Memo
Oh, okay.
vinalemu.
Sorry. I don't know what happened. I can hear you. Okay. I don't know why.
Okay, we can hear you now. Quickly say something. Yeah, if you have to say something.
Oh, yeah, you can hear me. No, very quick sentence. So when Karana, so the it's the rope is cause insofar as without rope the snake doesn't exist. So to that extent, in that context, it is the cause, I would say.
Right, exactly. So that's what I said. Think about it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaye Sri Mahavishnave Namaha. Thank you. Hari Om. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.